Hi guys, Ella Elizabeth here, Purpose and Beyond. Welcome back to the channel and to my space. Listen, I'm coming in real quick this week just to share what I did. I did a Costco haul, and y'all, we need to talk about these grocery prices. I mean, I'm starting to feel the crunch. Anyways, I went over my budget this week. I'll survive, but I'm going to have to be rethinking about how much I spend and be more intentional about what I spend when I go into Costco, because y'all know Costco is a trap. But anyway, I hope you've had a chance to see the video of when my family came and all the excursions that we had a chance to do. Also, the video what I was doing to prepare for them for their visit. I hope you had a chance to check those out. At any rate, guys, I want to thank you in advance for watching the video and subscribing to the channel. It'll continue to help my channel to grow. I want you guys to have a wonderful Sunday afternoon. I'm going to finish enjoying the rest of this fine evening. And I will see you guys again soon if the Lord says the same. Bye now.
Hi guys. Okay, so guys, I just took a break from work to go and do a Costco haul because, well, I was kind of low on my groceries and I needed to kind of replenish some things that I needed around the house. But y'all, look at this. You see this? I hope you can see that. Let's see, let's get it in the light. Can you see that? And we can talk about the grocery prices, and I do mean talk. I'm not going to complain. My life pillar, one of them is gratitude. So I'm not going to complain. Today, I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I was able to buy the things that I needed to buy. But, you know, I don't know if I had budgeted for this. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my budget that I have. It is gonna put a dent in my budget. Now I'll survive, but it just means sacrificing some other things. So let me tell you guys what I bought. And I know you probably think, well, some of that stuff you didn't have to get, the most expensive stuff. But for example, this Kerrygold butter. I think I've mentioned a couple of times when I was doing like a baking video, I shared with you guys that this right here, it's in this gold packaging for a reason. I love this Kerrygold butter. And they were supposed to have unsalted as well. They did not. They just had salted. But usually what I do when my baking, since I get the salted butter, I don't add the full amount of salt that maybe a recipe calls for, and sometimes I omit it altogether. But I went ahead and got that because it's not on sale often, and I said, okay, let me go ahead and stock up on this butter while it's on sale. And I do have some in the freezer, but it's like I'm pulling from the freezer and I put in this freezer in here. So I think I may have two of these, and I can move those into this freezer in the refrigerator, and then these will be outside in the freezer. I bought this smoked brisket that I shared. I'd like to get this. It's basically already cooked. You're just heating it up, but I love this brisket. I have one in the freezer, but I'm actually going to be cooking that this weekend. So I always like to have, I'm cooking one, but I like to have, as you say, one in the hole. And so then I also bought these sausage links. These are beef sausage links. They're spicy, but I buy these because I'm getting off bacon for like a few months. I think I'm gonna go to like July or August off to get off bacon. So and the reason is because I had a dream about bacon, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get off bacon for several months, and then I'll just do this beef sausage. And then after that, I can probably go back to bacon. But so I'm not doing the bacon that I usually get from Costco. I'm doing just these hot links. And I usually just take one of these and I split it in half. So I don't eat the whole link because these things are extremely high in calories. They're high in protein, but high in calories. So I will split it down the middle and then split it again, split it into two, and so just have half of this. So it lasts me quite a while. There's 3 packages and each one has 4 links. I think they started repackaging them because they used to have this package would have like five. Sometimes there'd be a package with five of them in there. So I think they were out of these for a while, and I think now they're repackaging. They're only doing four in all of them because I looked at the package today and they only had four. So I bought these, and that's going to last me quite a while. And then I've been wanting to do some more beef short ribs. I did some a while ago, and they were so good. Actually, I ended up burning them because I put them on the stove in my little kind of Dutch oven, like that La Crusette, but it's not La Crusette. It's something I got from Home Goods. But that thing, I have to watch that because that stuff cooks so well. I mean, it cooks fast if you put something in there. So you can't just leave it. And I put it on the stove and went upstairs and started doing my hair that Sunday morning. And then next thing I know, I'm smelling something burning. So just ruined my meat. So I'm going to be doing that. And I don't think I'm going to do the whole two packages. I'm going to do, I'll do one package and keep the other one frozen. So I'll put these in mine. I'll leave them like they are, but I'm also going to put them in my food saver bags also and put those in the freezer. So yeah, that'll make me two different meals at two different times, but I'm going to be doing the brisket this weekend with some greens. That's the only thing that I didn't buy at the grocery store because, I was at Sam's. They didn't have them. All right. So then I love my peppers. These are these little sweeties peppers. Now these don't say seedless. The other ones that they had carried for a while were seedless, but yeah, this is seedless. It says seedless. Great. So I'm not going to just do this with my hand today. I'm going to use my mixer. I'm going to use my KitchenAid because I have a chopping. No, I don't have it. Not on my KitchenAid. I actually have a vegetable chopper that I'm going to use just to chop these. I'm not going to worry about slicing them neatly. And then I'm going to use my food saver to separate them into little pouches so that I can freeze them. And then when I want them, because I love to put them with my eggs. I love them on my salads, and I also love them with my eggs, and I'll just kind of make it as a side. I'll cook those first a little bit, and then I'll do my eggs. Sometimes I'll mix it up in there, but I love these peppers with my eggs. It's kind of like a side vegetable. I love to have them, on my salads as well, and really anything, because, I'll cook whatever my meats. Because I'll put it, when I do this, the short ribs, I'll put some in there, saute it with onions or whatever, or just put it in the pot once I start to cook it. So I have to replenish my eggs because I went to the doctor and got on the scale, y'all, and I was like, lies. So I was like, I have to get serious about this weight reduction. I've almost gained all the weight back from when I had COVID. So I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So I'm kind of being more serious about my diet. You can see that I did not buy any junk. There's no chips, no junk food, no sweets and things like that. So, yeah, I'm having to get serious. So that's why I bought 2 things of eggs, because I will be doing that with my peppers more. I'll be doing that more. And then I'm running out of B12. So I decided to go ahead and get that today because this was on sale. But if I tell y'all, I'm trying to figure out what is going on with the B12. This thing, I used to be able to get this for probably $8. They put it on sale, maybe 12 at the most. When they put it on sale, this is regularly $20 something at Costco now, and they had it on sale for $17. I don't know what's going on with the B12. If y'all know, y'all can tell me what's going on with that. I have no idea. The other thing I bought was sweet potatoes. Again, just trying to do more of the, vegetables and things that have high nutritional value, protein, that are, really good for you, fiber that will also keep you full longer. So, I would just make a meal out of a sweet potato, just bake it in the oven, because you don't need any sugar. And I'll just put like some nutmeg in it and a little butter, and it's just fine. I can also dice them up and do like some homemade sweet potato fries, because I have this little chopper thing, rotating thing that will cut these into nice even fries for me. I bought lemons because I'm also trying to do more lemon water. So one time a day, I will fill up my pitcher that I drink from. It's in my office right now. I'll fill that up with lemon water and drink that, and then I'll replenish. So I use a lemon a day. Those smaller lemons I was using one of them, but these are pretty big. I can probably do half a lemon for that, for my lemon water. And then I also bought more avocado because I was out and I had gone to, now these are from Mexico, and I check them because I have to make sure they're not that GMO stuff, and like this is non-GMO certified. I have to make sure it's not that stuff that lasts for 20 years, because that stuff is created, stuff, not the natural. So I bought it because they have another brand of avocados that come in this is orange. The tag on them is orange, and those are the worst avocados. So if I go in there and they have those avocados, I just bypass them. So today they had those orange ones in, and then they also had these. So the one with the green label, I know to get the ones with the green labels. And there's a different brand too that has a green label. So those are the only ones I'll buy. I will not buy the ones with the orange. And then in line with trying to do better about, the sugars and things, I love to have a cup of coffee in the morning, but I also said, okay, I know that because I like to add the cream, that's not good for, trying to cut fat, the bad fat and things like that. So I said, okay, I need to mix this with some green tea, because I know that green tea like flushes off, it reduces the belly fat. And I know that I can see that it does reduce if I stick with this green tea. Now, one mistake I made that I found out is that I had been doing the green tea. I do 2 pouches. And that was just way too strong. And if I tell you, it just had me so bloated and gassy. I was like, okay, what is going on? And so I found out that if you do this, it's too strong. So I said, okay, and not having it too hot when you drink it. So I said, okay, when I do this, I'm going to one bag. And I'm going to let it kind of cool down a little. It can be warm, but not piping hot like I drink it in the morning when I drink it. And so I did that yesterday. Now, yesterday was a coffee day because what I'm doing is I'm going to be, trying to do coffee one day, tea one day. And it depends on what I'm eating. If I'm eating something and it has carbs in it, then I can't do the coffee. I have to do the tea. And so if I'm doing something that's just all protein, then I can do the coffee. So that's just one of the things that I'm trying to do for my meal habits and changing my habits, just cutting, trying to really reduce the amount of carbs, because, when you get my age, carbs, they're not your friend. And so what I found was 1 tea bag, just warm, and that was fine today. I had no problem. So, and my stomach wasn't bothered and upset, because yesterday I wasn't feeling good at all. I was like, what is going on? But it was too much, because this does have caffeine in it. It was just too much. All right. So the next thing I bought was this baking soda. So this is 13 pounds. This is 13 pounds. Let me look at this real quick. Let me show y'all the difference. I mean to do that. Oh, my cottage cheese. I also bought some cottage cheese yesterday. That's, it has fat and protein. This is 19 grams of protein for this little cup. So, again, I'm going to be doing that. So this little box I get from the dollar store. These are 12 ounces. So, and they're like over $1 now. They're over $1. And I use the baking soda quite a bit for cleaning, and then of course for baking too. But I use it quite a bit for my cleaning, when I'm cleaning my pots and pans, the stove, the dishes, whatever thing is not cleaning. I use it in my bathrooms, whatever. So I said, this was such a better buy. This was like, just say it was $10. Versus me paying like $1.25 now for 12 ounces and buying all those boxes, that I would have to buy at the Dollar Tree. It was a better buy for me just to go ahead and get this big this big thing. And I can also put that in my wash too, for, washing my clothes. And I'm almost out of my Dawn. I did have one that was the one I had in the garage, overstock. I brought it in here. So I said, okay, it's time for me to go ahead and put this up. And this kind of stuff will just sit out in the garage because this is, I call it overstock. And I have one under the sink now that I'm using. And so I bought another Dawn. It was on sale. I went ahead and got it. I also am about to run out of my trash bags. I needed to get those. So while I was there today, I went ahead and got that because this is kind of like the month that I needed to go ahead and restock things or had planned to. Then the last thing two things were that, well, not the last two things, but this, of course, some paper towels, because I do run through paper towels. Now I also bought some microfiber, a roll of microfiber. And for, my cleaning and things, I do use those microfibers. One day, I think you guys, I'm not for sure if y'all saw that I was up in the sewing room in my craft room and I had sewed these ribbons. I don't know if I showed you that yet, but I sewed these little ribbon color coded. It's kind of like color coded that tells me what it's for so that I wasn't mixing them up. Like this white, this is for the counter. So when I clean my counters, I use these and I have two. This one is for, let's see. This one is for wood. So the red is for wood. So when I'm doing my table and wood and, wood areas, this is the ones that I use for that. The blue is for dishes. So this blue is for dishes and like the stainless steel and my dishes and things. And then I have black, and the black is for the stove. So that lets me know that that's what I was using that for. And then, so the last thing that I bought, guys, were these beautiful roses. I just thought this color was so pretty. I saw that last week for Resurrection Day, but I didn't get them. But when I went in today, they were there again. So I said, oh, that's such a beautiful color. And I had yellow when my son and daughter-in-law and grandgirls came up. I had a pretty butter yellow roses. They were so pretty, but I just threw those out. They lasted a really long time. You have to get to Costco the right day and make sure they haven't like bloomed a lot. These seem like they opened up since I just, got home. They weren't that open when I bought them. So they seem like they just opened up. I cleaned the vase and put in some food and a little, fresh water, things like that. So guys, this is what I bought for $300, well, with tax, $385. Let's call it $386. I still, this is not, inflation, y'all. The prices have gone up because look at these two packs. Now, these are some good packs. They did have some that had a lot of fat on them. And I'm sure, you would be cooking those for maybe seasoning. It was like, no, I'm going to be eating these for a meal. So I need some more meat on there. So I kind of looked through them and they had some with meat on them. So I'm going to be prepping and putting all of this up using the food saver later. I'm not going to do that right now because I need to get back to work, and I'm only going to put up the things that have to go into the refrigerator. Well, this will go in too, but I'm going to have to take it back out later and, prep it for the freezer. But anyway, guys, that's real quick. I just wanted to come in and show y'all the haul that I did. Let me know in the comments, y'all, what do y'all think about these grocery prices? Because this is not what I used to see for $400 at Costco. I'd have a piece of furniture or something else, that I would have bought that I didn't go in there for to come up to like $400 something. So this was like, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off for right now, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.